welcome back to my channel. Today I have quite the combination makeup look. I honestly had no idea what I was gonna film. I just sat here and let myself go. I hope you like the makeup look that I came up with, and if you're interested in knowing how I achieved it, then please keep on watching. Hi guys, as always I'll be using my Nivea Men Aftershave Balm as a foundation primer. And for foundation today, I'll be using the Estee Lauder, I don't know why I said it like that. But anyways, this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and this is in this shade Rattan. And I'll be applying that all over the face. And as you can see, it covers any discoloration, redness, imperfections, zits, whatever. It really gives you a nice, flawless finish, which I actually really like. I've only worn this foundation a couple of times, so I'm still trying it out. And so far, so good. Really have nothing bad to say about it. For concealer, today I'll be using the yellow concealer from LA Girl, and I'll mix a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. No, this is not the Fit Me. This is the Age Rewind concealer in the shade Light. And just because the yellow concealer is a little bit too dark for me at the moment, since I'm so pale right now because I lost all my tan. But it was a really good combination because I actually loved the shade that I created. So once I apply the concealer, I'm just going to blend them out with my damp beauty blender. And if you're asking why I apply concealer on my lids, it's because it's going to serve me as an eyeshadow base. It's going to help the eyeshadows last longer, and it's going to prevent the eyeshadows from creasing. It's basically an eyeshadow base for my eyeshadows. As always, we have to set our makeup in place, and today I'll be using the Kat Von D foundation powder, and this is in the shade Light 49, but I felt like it was a little dark. I don't know, like I really like my under eyes to be highlighted, so I decided to apply that first with a Real Techniques brush all over the areas that I applied my concealer. And then I did my technique, which is applying the same powders with a dry beauty blender, but I felt like it wasn't light enough, so I decided to go back in with my highlighting contouring palette from Hotmess, and I mixed all of the top shades and run over the areas that I apply my concealer, and this really did highlight those areas, which is exactly what I wanted. For the eyes, I'll be using this inglot palette that I made myself, and I'll start using this orange eyeshadow, and I'll just apply that all over the crease. And I'm going to make sure to build this eyeshadow really well because I want this orange eyeshadow to be the star of the show today. So little by little, I'll just build this product up and make sure that it's as orange as I want it to be. Now with the MAC 217 brush and the yellow eyeshadow, I'm just going to focus that right on the crease of the eye and blending it in with the orange eyeshadow. With the small Luxie brush, I'm just going to take the brown eyeshadow and I'm just going to focus this right on the crease of the eye, nowhere else, keeping it really tight on the crease. And then I'll go back in with the yellow eyeshadow because I want everything to be really blended, and I don't want you to be able to tell where one color starts and where the other one ends. Excuse the nasty nails, but I'm showing you the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and I'm just going to cut my crease with this. This is going to be a really nice way to cut the crease. For me, it is the easiest technique to do this step. Just get anything creamier. It doesn't have to be this paint pot. It can be a concealer. Anything creamy will do. And as you can see, I'm just going to really define the crease area with the lid area because I want the colors to be very visible, the crease color and the lid color. Now I'll be using this artist palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'll be using Buttery, and I'm just going to dab that all over the areas that apply soft ochre. I'm not rubbing, I'm not blending, I'm just simply dabbing because this way the product is gonna sink in and it's just going to set the paint pot and it's gonna make the eyeshadow last longer. I decided to go back in with this yellow eyeshadow, but I hated it, so I ended up using Nylon by MAC, and I just apply that on the tear duct area and the upper and lower inner third of the eye. Now I'll be doing my wing liner, and this was the last time I used my eyeliner because this one is the one from NYC. You guys know it's one of my favorite ones, and it was honestly really old. I really need to get a new one, and I did, so thank God, because this eyeliner was already dry and I had to scrape, literally scrape the last little bit to do this tutorial. So next time I'll have a brand new eyeliner. I'm so excited. Now I'll be using this Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil, and I'm just going to apply that on my bottom waterline. I didn't want black, I didn't want white, I didn't want nude, just brown was perfect. Now I'll go back in with the orange eyeshadow, and I'm just going to buff that out right on the lower lash line. I'm going to make sure to build this product up because I want the orange to be very visible on the lower lash line as well. Now I'm just going to apply some mascara on my upper and lower lashes, and I'll be using this one from Maybelline. For lashes today, I'll be using Koko lashes in the style Queen Bee, and this is one of my favorite styles from that brand. I have a few, and as always, I place my lashes as close to my real lashes as possible. And once I apply the lashes, I did notice that the orange eyeshadow wasn't coming through as I wanted to. So I decided to go back in and just build up the eyeshadow even more to make sure that that crease is really cut and that orange eyeshadow is very visible, so that when I look straight, you can see the eyeshadow really well. As always, I like to go back in once I finish my eye makeup because I like to clean my wing liner. And this will also hide any glue that might be peeking through. And yeah, as you can see, we're ready to go flying away with our lashes. Bye! For bronzer today, I'll be using this powder from Sephora, which I can use it as a bronzer because it's way too dark for my skin tone. So as always, I'll apply that on the hollows of the cheeks, on the sides of the forehead, and on the jawline. I also like to bronze up my neck just because I don't want there to be a visible line where my neck starts and where my foundation ends. So that really helps and blends everything in. For blush today, I'll be using this super old one, and it's from Sephora. I'll leave all the products in the description box because I honestly can't remember the name of this blush. But as you can see, it's super light and super natural, which is perfect because I want all the focus to be on the eyes and the lips. Now with a clean brush, I'm just going to blend everything out to make sure that there are no harsh lines. I'll be setting my face with some MAC Fix Plus, and just before that dries, I like to apply my highlighter, which today is the Mirror Luminizer by the Balm. And I'm just going to focus that on my regular areas, which are the highest point of the cheeks, and I like to mix it with my blush, and then I like to apply that on the chin, the cupid's bow, and today I applied a little bit on the forehead, and with a smaller, denser brush, I applied a little bit on the tip of the nose and the bridge of the nose. And I like to apply the highlighter just before the Fix Plus dries, so that when it does, it glues the highlight into the skin and it makes it last longer. As always, my nose contour is essential for any makeup look, and I'm using this same palette from Hotmess, and I'll be mixing all of the bronzers, and I'll start creating some parallel lines on the sides of my nose, and then I'll blend them out with a brush, and then I'll blend them out with the tips of my fingers just to make sure that there are no harsh lines, because we never want any harsh lines, especially on our nose contour. For the lips, I'll be using this one from NYX, and I can't remember the shade, so I'll leave it in the description box. But yeah, once I apply the lipstick, we are finished with this makeup look. So this is it for today, you guys, and I want to mention my really horrible looking nails. The cleaning, the moving, we're still painting. They don't last as long, but I guess pretty nails aren't for the people that do chores. But yeah, I know you guys might be like, what the hell happened to your nails? Well, that is happening to my nails, but don't worry, I'm getting them done soon, thank God, because it's a little overdue. So yeah, once that I got my nails out of the way, I really have nothing else to say. I hope you guys like this makeup look, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and as always, I'll see you in my next tutorial very soon. Bye bye!